Thank you, Wim. Now you announced right, because first he said, I will make a conference summary. And as you might agree, and for the reason Wim said already, this is a matter of impossibility in that short time. Because already preparing the highlights, I made for you now prepared 124 slides exactly. And, but unfortunately, the organizer didn't allow this. So I tried to make a compressed version of this, which means some of you, what you think are highlights, will be certainly not part of that, but I tried to give a flavor of where are certain advancements, things which I have seen, things which my colleagues have seen, which helped me preparing the slides. So, as usually now, I'm going rapidly through the topics and that's what you always want to see at the beginning, highest efficiency figure. So we have new triple junction concentrator cell record is 41.1% by Fraunhofer, but this was January. And by the summer, Spectral caught up again to 41.6%. Just as a comparison, last year I had as well as the slide, and there was 40.8%. So you see this kind of progress percent per year. I hope it continues like this. A lot is going on, and Martin Green showed it on Monday morning on tandem cells using quantum dots, devices silicon-based, but also strain balanced quantum wave cells, the work which you know from Imperial College, Quantum Sol UK, they are facing or opt for to go towards 28%. There are other developments really targeted for concentrator cells. I found remarkable the 34.1% spectrum splitting cells, which is basically concentration ratio 1. And so this is a record in principle for this kind of non-concentrator cells. Very interesting result. There was in connection with that a good presentation on how cells can be optimized to have really spectrally matched with the site, where later the concentrated array would stay there and give us an additional energy yield of 10%. Flatcon modules marketed by Concentrates showed 20% AC efficiency out of the array. So it's going into large installations with very reliable results, and I think concentrators are grown up. We weren't there a year ago, 2 years ago. And we see megawatt installations, as for example from the Spanish company ISFOC there as well. Now, organic cells, I felt, I don't know whether you share your opinion, I see a lot of progress in this year, since the last conference. We started a very nice Taiwanese presentation on the thiophenylene-based polymers, which show already 6% of efficiency, and you see a picture there on the bottom. These devices really do exist. There are a lot of progress in commercialization and new startups for dye-sensitized solar cells. Conakry now already from the United States, but there's 3G Solar from Israel or Dysol from Australia. 3G Solar said they target a 7% 7-year lifetime cell, not in 7 years, but already 2011. And again highlighted, and that was the same as last conference, but it seems there's not enough progress made. Test standards are missing for these organic cells. In particular, now where we have tandem solar cells, the measurement problems are still there, unresolved, and so are probably the uncertainties of our efficiency figures. You know that the wafer-based silicon solar cells and materials is the biggest topic in the whole conference, and the more it's difficult to find highlights, really highlights there, and just give you my selection. So the selective emitter in mass production, this time from Suntech, China, achieved I would say this conference record in module efficiency of 16.5%. There are many other companies and groups working on that which are close to this. This time the prize went to Suntech. An interesting presentation on wastewater recovery in the solar cell manufacturing. It's getting more and more an issue. The larger the plants is, that we also have environmental friendly solar cell production, so I consider that as a quite important step forward. There are in general continued improvement of materials processing, cost efficiency and so on, and it's basically impossible now to pinpoint where was the most of the progress. Interesting, what you see on the photographs, a new approach, honeycomb textured multicrystalline silicon cells with nano imprinting technology. Looks very nice, it works. I do not recall efficiency figures, so I looked them up later. Or the rear contacted amorphous crystalline cell from the Heinz Center in Germany, but also upgraded metallurgical grade solar cells reaching 16% by Kali Solar in the United States. So they are getting close to what we know from electronic grade materials. Thin films, we have more and more different type of things. Schober Shell presented 15.7% for 30 by 30 CIS module with the plans to expand it even maybe at some point to 1 gigawatt, this kind of technology. We have CIGS in production, Soligo reported 12.3% average production efficiency on a 0.75 square meter module. We see a new approach from CSG, now both in Australia and Germany, for crystalline silicon on glass mini modules with 7.8%, this time electron beam deposited. And then very large amorphous silicon with all varieties, microsilicon, 8.2% efficient. Sonto reported or 8.75. Now there came something into my mind that what the crystalline industry never achieved in 20 years, namely to standardize the size of modules. Obviously it's happening in that field. They look all around 5.7 square meters, but you certainly know why. The other part, single junction amorphous silicon records, again on a module size. We have efficiencies of 10.09%, and we can even distinguish another process which is 10.06%. So it says also probably something on the progress in measurement techniques and calibration techniques, that it's down to per mil of uncertainties. Others don't know the uncertainty, just say 9% by fast PVSEC of University of New South Wales. So single junction amorphous silicon is growing again. Tandems, this year, I think one of the best and largest modules has been presented by Sanyo, up to 12% with the microcrystalline silicon and amorphous silicon tandem. We see also from EMEC in Belgium, epitaxy thin film concepts, a crystalline deposition with up to 16.8%. It's still where we say thin film or thin film crystalline and non-crystalline is still a moving separation line. Now, to the end, components for PV systems, it's a rapid market, developing market with new concepts, which we have seen also. I found remarkable the Ines presentation on the solution for the smart PV energy management. They are coming, if we want to achieve a higher penetration of photovoltaics, grid management issues are becoming more and more important, so they're a good presentation. I would say finally we have a European standard, at least for efficiency measurements on inverters. Took some time, and I have to say, even though it's from my own organization, a very good comparison of auto performance of thin film versus crystalline technologies for different European sites. So if you want to know whether this thin film technology actually provides more energy in summer or in winter versus crystalline, that's the way to look later up the paper. Innovation goes ahead, when people are sending modules in test labs to get them qualified, it's quite a logistics, and I found this outside in the hall. The labs are coming to you. Not a bad idea, and I think it saves time, it saves cost. Again, a very good idea from the University of Winterthur in Switzerland, which every year makes it into the highlights because they're always good for innovation in it.